Is up? Backwoods Torque here again with hopefully what turns out to be another exciting hunt. Today is actually opening day out here in California in zones D3, D4, and D5. We're getting a little bit of a late start though. So not planning on hunting this weekend, but we are going to be hunting next weekend. So today we are just going to be going out to the spot that we're going to be hopefully seeing some deer at next weekend. Set up a tree stand, set up a pop-up blind. We're going to be using this pop-up blind. We'll see that all unfolded, but that pop-up blind is the blind that was featured in the pronghorn antelope hunt. So we'll be using that. Should be really exciting, should be a great hunt video. Should see some action. We know the spot that we're going to did have some big bucks walking through. So hopefully that's still the case. Keep you guys updated. All right, here we are, walking into the zone. We're gonna find some deer trails, find a place that we could set up a ladder stand or a tree stand, set up our ground blind. So we just saw a deer off in this direction, walking through those trees over there. We're right at the top of this little hill, big open clearing. We're headed down there, following this game trail. So this might be a viable spot right here to set up the ground blind, in case they're using the highway in the early morning. What do you think, Jess? Fight it a little bit. Entrance over here. A really good idea is bring some sweaty socks, old t-shirt, hang them in here, get all these deer used to your scent in case the wind's blow. All right, so we got the ground blind set up here, and kind of what we're thinking is that's the main highway where deer are going in. Over there to the right, where we're actually going to come in, we did see a couple of bedding areas, so this should be far enough away from them, kind of on a hill, so we've got some visibility. So if one of us is sitting in this ground blind, we'll kind of be able to see hopefully if anything's coming from up that hill, or if anything's across the way or behind us, where we did see that deer. Didn't know if it was a buck or a doe, just saw the ass end of it walking through those trees, but it did look a pretty decent sized deer, at least from what we could see. And then if something came through this complete back way, we do have windows. They're kind of tight to shoot through, so you'd probably want to wait for it to come around to these bigger areas. So this would be the perfect shot if something came walking by here for either of us. This area, this ground blind, it's going to sit here for a week. We're coming back out here a week from today, or maybe 6 days, or maybe 8 days from today, depending on when's going to be the best day. We can monitor the wind if anything needs to change based on the wind forecast next weekend, then we can come back out here, make adjustments, move it to the other side of this big tree or anything like that. But they should be pretty used to seeing it, and it's going to blend in nicely, so shouldn't scare any deer away if they get used to walking through this area. So what we're going to do now, instead of lugging the ladder and the tree stand around, is go take a look down there, because that's a nice little area that looks like a little hallway that deer could walk through. But we also might want to check out, not that we want to go disturb those deer, but if we saw a deer over there, we've never walked that way, so it might be good to go check that out as well. That's poop. It looks like berries. Alright, we're picking the ground blind spot down there. So we came back up here, got the ladder. We're gonna the tree stand. We're gonna put that in that tight little corridor. We're also thinking about looking over that hill, but maybe just a cheap pop-up ground blind in case we want to move to a different afternoon sit. But we'll kind of go with the bold play here and see if this little tight window will get us a deer. But this ground blind that we have set up is in the money position. Getting our spikes screwed in. It's our last one. All right, got the tree stand set up. Nice little shooting lane here. So hopefully if we get any movement coming up through this little corridor, get a nice little shot, get on the edge of the seat. Little short range windows. So it should be a nice little place. Obviously we got the ground blind over there, up in the clearing as well. So a couple nice spots. Should see some action next weekend. We've got the trail cam right here giving us a constant live feed that way. Over there, this is the big clearing that we're hoping deer are going to pass through. Right now the wind is blowing that way, so if they came through here it would be perfect. But you know, hopefully there's water down there, so hopefully they're moving up and heading this way using this corridor, and we get a good little shot at them from the tree stand. Hopefully we see a couple on the trail cam over the next couple of days. Here we are walking in. We're sitting in the blind now, just before legal shooting light. Walking in, we did see eyes of a deer, so we definitely bumped one. I kind of knew that was going to be the problem. Walking into this spot is we might see them along the way, so we'll have to think about how to combat that for next weekend if they're hanging out in the intermediate area. But this is the right area to hunt in. We did see a bunch of deer poop on the side of the road, but we don't want to hunt on the side of the road. So we'll have to see as the sun comes up what things are looking like. 6:15. Haven't seen any movement yet. We're gonna give it about till 11 o'clock this morning until it gets warm out, and then we'll look around for Jessica's watch. Contemplate if we should move any of this setup. Tree stand, not gonna want to move, but nothing on that camera down there either. It's only been a day, but we'll see what we're looking like. Alright, it's about 8 o'clock, 8:06. Haven't seen any action besides a bunch of quail jumping from over there and flying across. It was about an hour ago. It's been real quiet. Just some birds. Haven't seen anything poke its head out that direction. I keep looking because that was where I saw the deer yesterday. Even if we didn't get a good shot at one today, really more just wanted to see deer, know that we have the right setup, know that we're in the right place, and that we'd be setting up good for next weekend. No action on the trail cam down below either. Probably give it another hour, call it around 9 o'clock, and start looking for Jess's watch. That was incredibly unexpected. We were coming right around this corner. I saw him. I'm waving back at Jess, who's looking down for her watch. Finally get her attention. My rangefinder was stuck on my backpack, and I was trying to get it out. I wasn't even thinking that we were going to encounter one like that. It wasn't the biggest, but it was okay looking. He was super curious of Jessica, standing back and holding the camera. Came around, drew on him, and he was gone, ran through the backside. So hopefully, if he did run through that trail cam area, We should have a nice picture of them on there. That was exhilarating. That's a good lesson, guys. Always have your rangefinder ready to go. But I really shouldn't have even worried about it. I should have just guessed. Guessed the range. I'm set to 20, 30, and 40. Whew. So there is deer with horns, or with antlers out here. There are deer. Guess we should have sat in the blind just a little bit longer, but you would have been coming along this side. You would have been out of range from the blind anyways. Blind's up there on that hill. He almost landed on you. Did he take off again? Get it zoomed in. Where's this little bear? He ran. Hopefully he runs past that trail cam. Yeah. Well, that's why you bring the pistol, right? I mean, I have a bear tag. We could take him. So he would have walked, that bear would have came down, most likely, right past the blind. So if we were still sitting in the blind, we would have saw him walk down. Wow. He must have smelled our tracks and just took off. I can't believe the trail cam didn't pick up either the deer nor the bear. It's nice to know that game wants to get down here. So it's just a matter of, will they go across that? And from that tree stand, there's lanes that I could shoot that won't pick up on camera. So next weekend when I'm sitting in there, should be looking pretty good. All right, Jess. Well, did we kill any deer?
No, close.
Did we find the watch?
No, not yet.
So we didn't do any of the things that we came out here to do, but did you have a fun time?
Yes. Adventure will continue.
Pretty sweet. Stoked on that bear still.
Yeah, that was a great find. I've never seen a real bear in my life, so that was pretty awesome. Excited to watch.
Positive hunting attitude. We're going to be back next weekend.